I am authorized to assure you these rumors are based on hysteria and are absolutely false. I repeat, these rumors are absolutely false.
In a recent interview with a Lucasfilm spokesperson when questioned about actress Gina Carano, in a recent interview with actor Hayden Christensen. Now, in a recent interview, Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy was able to respond to the Star Wars fandom. In a recent interview, it's described that Disney CEO Bob Chapek was able to respond to Star Wars fans. It's explained that recently creator Jon Favreau took part in an interview. It's described, however, that in a recent interview, Hayden Christensen was able to reveal some exciting details about his involvement with Star Wars. It's described, however, that in a recent interview, actor Mark Hamill, in a recent interview at one point in time, Dave Filoni teased. It's described, however, that in a recent interview with Disney CEO Bob Chapek, he was able to speak on behalf of what George Lucas had to reveal for the character of Grogu. It's described that recently actress Rosario Dawson took part in an interview. It's described, however, that in a recent interview, Jon Favreau was questioned about the character of Grogu and Ahsoka Tano. However, during and after the premiere for The Rise of Skywalker, many interviews were given to the creators and actors of the sequel trilogy films. However, during and after the premiere of The Rise of Skywalker, many interviews were given to the creators and actors of the sequel trilogy. However, during and after the premiere for The Rise of Skywalker, many interviews were given to many of the creators of the sequel trilogy, as well as many of the actors. At one point in time, Daisy Ridley was interviewed about The Rise of Skywalker, where she was questioned about Kathleen Kennedy's leadership. However, it's noted that after the premiere of The Rise of Skywalker, when many interviews were given to the creators of the sequel trilogy, as well as the actors, when Adam Driver was interviewed well after the premiere, he was questioned about Kathleen Kennedy's leadership. Now, during and after the premiere for The Rise of Skywalker, many interviews were given to the creators of the sequel trilogy, as well as the actors. At one point in time, actor John Boyega was questioned about Kathleen Kennedy's leadership. However, it's noted that during and after the premiere of The Rise of Skywalker, many interviews were given to the creators of the film, including Chris Terrio, the co-writer of Episode 9, who worked closely with Kathleen Kennedy on set. Now, it's noted that during and after The Rise of Skywalker premiere, many interviews were given to the actors and creators of the sequel trilogy, where at one point in time, actor Harrison Ford was questioned about the sequels sometime after the premiere of Episode 9. However, during and after the premiere for The Rise of Skywalker, actor Harrison Ford got a chance to discuss everything related to Disney Star Wars and how they handled the sequel trilogy movies. However, in a recent interview, Disney CEO Bob Chapek was able to speak on behalf of George Lucas of how he felt with the return of Luke Skywalker in Mando Season 2, explaining Now, Gina Carano, surprisingly, is also set to unveil new secrets of her firing this March, in mid-March specifically, to a brand new interview, of course, with a yet-to-be-announced media outlet. Additionally, on top of this, also, it's noted that Gina Carano is set to expose more of the truth about Lucasfilm, and that this time it will have to do with what Gina learned when she first got hired by Jon Favreau and met the Lucasfilm team. Gina is set to come back to expose more of the truth by the end of this month, and that also writer Leslie Headland is another Lucasfilm employee that celebrated Carano's firing. Carano is set to reveal more about Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy as a leader this April in a brand new interview that was initially planned for the end of March. Honestly, in that very long and lengthy interview with Ben Shapiro, she unveiled a lot just in that one interview, and whoever she's going on board with next month into June as well, May into June, it's going to be interesting to see who she's going to have the interview with, if it's going to be on a major news outlet on television, or if it's going to be more around the lines of something like on Spotify/YouTube, like a Joe Rogan type of thing going on. However, in a recent interview, Gina Carano went on to respond to her views of coming back to Star Wars. Basically, the deal was made between John, Dave, and the higher-ups over at Disney of bringing back Carano. That's pretty much set in place and being finalized, and will be finalized by this September. There is going to be a finalization of this plan for Gina Carano to come back by the end of August, specifically toward, of course, the August 20s, right around that time frame. We do know that John and Dave had their final meeting with Disney back in May, late May, with, of course, the higher-ups over at Disney on Gina Carano's return and exactly how they could go about doing that. We discussed this before in the past, that by the end of August, everything's going to be finalized, and then it's all going to come down to Gina Carano making that ultimate decision by, of course, this upcoming September. In the meantime, separately from all of this, Gina Carano is said to be taking part in a major talk show by this September that will reveal more about what happened between herself and Lucasfilm. It's unclear if this will be televised or something of the likes of a podcast, like Joe Rogan, for example.